Good morning, Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond sisters. Happy Monday. Guess what? Monday, we got a new week ahead of us. New day, new week. And for those of you who are new to the Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond community, I just want to welcome you and say hello and welcome you to the community. I'm a licensed clinical social worker as well as a transformational relationship coach. Good morning, Julie. It's so good to see you. And what I do is I help you reclaim your brilliance post-divorce, right? If you are going through divorce, post-divorce, where you've had a soul fracture and where you've got most of your life together, right? Most of the women who I work with are successful in their own right. They've got their life together. They've got good relationships with family and friends. And it's this relationship thing with themselves, as well as one day putting out the relationship to attract their soulmate. That's the work that I do. We work on becoming our own soulmate first before we go out to bring in someone else in our life, because we've got to clean up our own side of the street. You know, so many times we have a way of doing things, right? We've been running our life. We've been running our family's life. Perhaps you're running a business. Perhaps you have employees that report to you. Perhaps you're, running your division at work. It doesn't really matter, but you're used to running things. And we try to use the same tools in this side of our life with healing our soul fracture, with starting afresh, and it doesn't work. It's a completely different set of tools. And so that's what we learn here at DG. And for today's coffee chat, what I wanted to talk to you about was strength in the wait, right? The waiting time. This is something, if you're like me, that I have, or used to, I would say in the past, that I had one of the most difficulties with, and that was patience, right? Because in the past, when I was in the waiting period for something to come through in my life, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen or if it wasn't going to happen. So I think that's what also drew a level of uncertainty and a little more, I guess would say, uncomfortableness, is because I wasn't sure. But here's what we know for sure at DG and Beyond, and I've been doing this work a while now, is that when you devote the time with the right tools, right, the tools that we use here at DG, when you devote the time and you implement the right tools, you no longer have to wait or wish or wonder if this is going to work for you, because it does. Your job is to show up, is to apply the tools, is learn how to utilize the tools, and then we have power in the wait. Because think about this, if you take a tomato seed and you go out to your garden and you plant a tomato seed, you're not going to wake up the next morning expecting a tomato from that plant. You're going to have to nurture it. You're going to have to make sure it gets enough sunlight, it gets enough water, and you're going to be in expectation because you know a tomato is going to come from that vine. It's the same thing. You are the seed, my friend. When you nurture yourself and you do the work and you give yourself enough water and enough sunlight, you are nurturing yourself. So it's not if your life comes to the way that you want it to be, it's a level of expectation. This is something that our mentors never taught us in the past, our teachers didn't teach us, our parents didn't teach us, because we're sort of on this level of, it's almost a gamble, right? Or when is the other shoe going to drop? It's not that. We draw the line in the sand here at DG, and I show you specifically how to stand in a level of expectation. And that's what I want you to think about today is, are you mostly in the level of expecting the other shoe to drop, or expecting things not working for you, expecting that it won't go right? Or are you in the level of expectation of course it's going to go my way. The universe is always working and conspiring for me. And I just don't know right now. Maybe I just don't have the right tools, the right mentor, the right group to help me. And I'm going to do whatever I can to get there, because that's where I want you to be. I want you to be in strategy versus victimhood. There's a reason why you are allowed to go through this divorce. God is not creating any extra sadness for you. This is not meant to tear you down. Yes, there's a moment in your life where you took a few steps back and there was a blow to your life. You hit the brick wall. I get it. I'm not minimizing your pain. But then there also comes the strongest people and the most successful people are the ones who fall down 7 but get up 8. And that's us here at DG Sisters. So you've fallen down. So you've been hurt. So you've been hit. So we're going to take that. We're going to honor it because it got you here. You're here today. right? You woke up today, you have another day on this earth. Now you have the choice of how you're going to do it. Are you going to be waiting in the strength, or are you going to be waiting in the victimhood? Because if you continue to think about what you don't want, and you continue to think about how difficult things are, and you continue to think about what could go wrong, well, that's what you're creating more and more of. So let's get strong in the wait. Let's understand that the waiting period is actually a gift for us to do the work on us. The waiting period is our gift to say, wait a minute, in the past, we've devoted all of our time to our family, our friends, our sisters, our cousins, our brothers, our aunts, our uncles, students, employees, co-workers, all of it. This is your time to once and for all do the work on you. That in this waiting period, you're not going to look at the waiting period as I'm losing something. We're looking at the waiting period as I'm gaining something, because it is the truth. There's miracle in the mess here, my friend, and your miracle is waiting for you to find. It's not going to come to you, though. You have to get up and you have to go find it, and you've got to get out there and you've got to do, right? You've got to understand that there's a strategy to this thing called life, and there's a strategy to this thing called healing my soul fracture and stepping into my life. And your miracle in your mess is there. There's no reason for you not to be achieving what it is that's in your heart. See, I have this belief and I have this knowing that your heart is ringing a certain bell, right? And that bell may be for you to have peace in your life. That bell may be for you to have joy. That bell may be for you to bring in a soulmate and a partner because you don't want to be alone and you're tired of being lonely. But that bell is ringing, and it means there's someone else that has the same bell with the same frequency, but you guys haven't been hearing each other because you haven't done the work to really set yourself up on that level. And the work really isn't about anybody else. The work is about you. The work is about getting your life back. The work is about you waking up in the brilliant soul and the brilliant person that you are, even though you've been through some tough shit, right? We have. I wish I could say it differently. I wish I could say it didn't suck. It does. But then we get a choice. Are we going to take our suckness and let it stick and let us stay stuck? Or are we going to take our stuckness and use it as a catalyst to create our amazing life? There's nothing better than your family seeing you brilliant and living an amazing life. There's nothing better than your children saying, man, look at mom, look what she's doing, look what she's been able to do. There's nothing better than having just no ties to your ex and that side of the family and what he's doing or what he's not doing, and that you're shining bright, because it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing except you. But you get to be the model for your family, you get to be the model for your friends, you get to be the model for yourself of what's possible, right? There's so much that's possible for you. So with that said, this brings me to the close with today's coffee chat. And think about, what are you doing while you're in the wait? Are you letting the waiting period take you down, or are you using it to your advantage? Right? I remember my one mentor said to me at one point, he said, Donna, this is when I went back to school to get my master's in social work. And he said, Donna, you're going to be busy doing something. You might as well be busy working on yourself. It's the same thing, right? You're going to be busy doing something. You might as well be busy creating your life. You might as well be busy doing this work now, because I'm thinking about it. We're in September. If you join Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond now, by Christmas time, your life could be very, very different. So book a call with me. Let's chat. If you're ready, let's go. Book a call, get on my calendar, and I'll see you later. Have a great rest of the day. Bye. Mwah. Sending you love. Bye.